All right, it's apparent midway through the first round, Alicia, that you're winning the moments when you're able to come forward. The problem is you're getting knocked off your stance continuously when you go to throw, with your chin in the air and your stance too tall and your back in the wrong position. So if you can plant your feet and throw the same punches, you'll knock her back. See, in general, you should see yourself coming forward at her 100% of the time. Her stance is wider than yours, and so when she's throwing, she's pushing you back. So you're landing those punches, you got to keep coming forward. So you throw a combination, why not tighten up, shuck her back, and throw it again. And then when you're not doing that, you got to spring back away from her and then come right back in. So this match is about going forward. Once you learn how to hold your position and you're not getting backed off your feet anymore, flat-footed, you'll do great. This is a very, very winnable match for you. Now explode in like that, and then either keep pushing forward after you explode in initially, or step back a half inch, step back 6 inches, and come right back in again. Here you're in your shell, but you don't release your hands when she throws. Remember, the point of being in the shell is to counterpunch as soon as she throws that jab at you. She throws the jab at you, check hook, or throw pi 13, or come over the top with your right cross. When she throws the right cross, you got to roll and come back with 2-3-6-3. One big improvement you made from the match with Kim Wyback to now is at least you're throwing your hands more. You're not just covering all the time. You just got to throw your hands a little bit more. She's still out punching you, but you're landing the more significant blows. You just got to keep boxing in these situations where you're giving up points because you're surrendering your guard. If you box, and then tighten your guard and shell up, either in the Philly shell or in a low peekaboo, you won't get hit by those right hands that are coming over the top, or that last jab she landed. So you're boxing in spots, okay, spurts. The problem is your defense after you let your hands go, your guard and your defense. You've got to tighten it up right after you throw so that you don't give up points after you throw. Like right there where you stood up, see, you've got to roll under. See, your hands are away from your face and you're not throwing them, and at the same time, then see, your chin keeps getting knocked up. That should never happen if you're in the Hulk position with your hands tight. Remember, you got to make a decision with your hands, Alicia. So the main problem I'm saying is the moments where you're not, see, you're blanking out right there and you're not doing anything with your hands. You've got to throw your hands, or you got to pull them in and actually defend, bob and weave, slip, block. If you're not doing those things, you've got to throw your hands. So she's winning this match just because she's constantly letting her hands go. So you got to make a decision. Let my hands go as much as she does and you win, or let your hands go and then you move. Let your hands go and then you move. Let your hands go and then you move. And you got to do it constantly and incessantly. She's not necessarily smothering you. She's just throwing and throwing and throwing. And because you're giving your ground, she's going to keep coming. Until you put a shoulder in her or you shove her away from her and prove that you're strong enough to keep her going backwards, she's going to keep coming at you. So you got to grab her and clinch her there, or you got to shove her out the way. You got to grab her and clinch her, or you got to shove her out the way so that you can box again. And get rid of those times where you're not doing anything with your hands. All right? Very simple. You can do this. This is better than your first fight. You just got to work on those technical things. Better than the first fight, just you got to understand that it's constant pressure you need. Don't leave this. All right, now we're going to look for the same pattern in your match with Kim Wyback, where you're either not going forward or stepping side to side and boxing. See, right here, she's chasing you backwards. You got to make a decision that you never, ever, ever go backwards unless you want to go backwards, with your jab or by changing your angle or shuffling back and stepping right back in with a combination. Never let girls chase you backwards or push you backwards. You got to be willing to hold your ground and make sure the fight is constantly moving forward.
Omega 7, sit yourself!
See here, you're letting her chase you backwards again. So never ever let someone chase and push you backward. Ever. Ever. Remember, rule number 1 of boxing, other than protect yourself at all times, is you never ever surrender yourself, and you have to be willing and show that you can fight before you're allowed to box. Alright, fighting means, okay, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, and you cannot push me around. I will beat you up, I will kill you, I will stomp you, I will hold you, I will wrestle you, I will shove you to the ground before I allow you to throw me backwards. Both of these girls came out fighting you, trying to see if you could hold your ground before they allowed you to box. Basically only throwing 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and continuing to come forward until you establish that you can hold your guard, whether it be the Philly shell or the low peekaboo, and come forward and keep them at bay. They'll keep coming at you. So, for example, when you spar me and I'm in my Philly shell and you're coming at me, I don't move. Right? All I do is stand, roll, and counter. That's what you've got to be able to prove that you can do before you're allowed to box at your own rhythm. So this is the major thing that I see from these two fights. Next point, you've got to be willing to do something with your hands other than hold them out away from your face in dead man's land. You've got to throw your hands offensively, so every time she punches, you punch once or twice, or your hands are in defending, waiting to counter. Too often your hands are caught away from your face, and that's when these girls are scoring these pity-pat punches with the right hand. Remember, a boxer's hands are either in the act of throwing, chambered when they're throwing, or in the act of defending. So this would be the equivalent of never let your opponent get off more than 2 punches without throwing back. And remember, all this off-balance stuff you see from yourself in this fight and the other one is from lack of aggression. And that's why I was telling you in your last match, I need you to get mean, I need you to get angry. Because the angrier you are, the bullish you are, the more bullish you are, the more aggressive you are, the more balance you will have. They're taking advantage of your lack of aggression, so that's why you're constantly on your heels, moving back and getting rocked by their punches and pushes. Alright? If you're more aggressive and you're round your back, you'll be on your toes more moving forward, as if you're driving a bobsled forward.
I on the 12! Step out! I on the 12! I on the 12!